also taught me how to recite the Junti mantra.
Mantra writing experts once said, "Those who practiced the art but do not know the right way to do it will be laughed at by gods and spirits." The secret behind writing mantras is the absence of thought from start to finish. In the process of writing, one must not give rise to a single improper thought. Even kind thoughts have to be let go of. Only under these circumstances can a mantra be successful. Let's try. When one prays or seeks something in terms of changing fate, it is important that one does it when the mind is still. In this way, wishes will be easily fulfilled. Mencius stated in his principle of forming destiny that there is no difference between longevity and short life. At first glance, one would find this hard to understand. How can longevity and short life be the same? In actuality, when we look within our hearts, we will find no duality, no difference. We should see everything with eyes of equality and live morally regardless of good or bad times. If one can practice accordingly, then one can master the fate of wealth and poverty. Therefore, when we are able to create and form our own destiny, it does not matter whether we are presently rich or poor. Just as a wealthy man should not become callous in his thoughts and actions because he is rich, a poor man should not resort to committing evil deeds due to his poverty. In either case, one should keep to one's place in society and be a virtuous person. The actions of worldly people usually follow their thoughts. Whatever has to be thought is not considered natural. Accomplish the state of no thought by reciting the Junti mantra continuously to overcome scattered thoughts in the mind. And when you recite, you must not think of reciting, but recite consciously and diligently without any attachment. When the reciting becomes second nature to you, it will be efficacious.
My name used to be Xue Hai, which meant broad learning. But after having understood the fact that destiny is created by ourselves, I changed it to Liao-fan, which means transcending the mundane, because I did not wish to be like worldly people who allow destiny to control them.
Oh, I see.
From then on, I began to be constantly aware of my thoughts and actions. Soon I felt quite different from before. I became respectful, careful, and conservative in my thoughts, speech, and actions. I maintain this attitude even when I'm alone, for I know that there are spirits and gods everywhere who can see my every action and thought. Even when I encounter people who slander me, I can take their insults with a patient and peaceful mind. The year after I met Master Yungu, I took the preliminary imperial exam in which Mr. Kong had predicted I would come in 3rd place. Amazingly, I came in 1st. Mr. Kong's predictions were beginning to lose their accuracy. But I did. Master Yungu had said that destiny could be changed, and now I believe it more than ever. Although I had corrected a lot of my faults, I found that I could not wholeheartedly do the things I ought to do. Even if I did, it was forced and unnatural. I reflected within and found that there were still many things wrong in not being eager enough to do it, or harboring doubts when helping others in need. Sometimes I forced myself to act kindly, but my speech was still untamed and offensive. I found that I could contain myself when sober, but after a few drinks, I would lose self-discipline and act without restraint. Although I often practiced kind deeds and accumulated merits, my good deeds were offset by my faults and offenses. A lot of my time was spent vainly and without value. It took me more than 10 years to complete the 3,000 meritorious deeds I had vowed to do. I was unable to dedicate the merits from these 3,000 kind deeds at a temple until I returned to my hometown a few years later. Then I made my second wish, and that was for a son. I vowed to complete another 3,000 good deeds. 1 year later, you were born. Every time I performed a kind deed, I would record it in a book. Your mother, who could not write, would use a goose feather dipped in ink and make a red circle on the calendar for every kind deed she did. Sometimes she gave food to the poor or bought living creatures from the marketplace to free them in the wild. She recorded all these with her circles on the calendar. At times she performed more than 10 kind deeds in a single day. We continued to perform and accumulate kind deeds in this manner, and in a mere 2 years, the 3,000 deeds were completed. Once again, I made another wish in the temple, and that was to pass the next level in the imperial examination, the Jinshe level. I also vowed to complete 10,000 meritorious deeds. After 3 years, I attained my wish and passed the Jinshe level. I was made the district officer of Baodi County. While in the office, I prepared a small booklet to record my merits and faults and called it the Book of Disciplining the Mind. I told the door guard to place the booklet on my desk every morning. From that day, I recorded all my good and bad deeds in that booklet. Every evening, I would burn incense and make a report of my deeds to the heavens at a little altar in the garden. Once, your mother was concerned when she saw that I had not accumulated many merits. And she asked, "In the past, I was able to help you in your accumulation of kind deeds, and we were able to complete the 3,000 meritorious deeds. Now you have made a vow to complete 10,000 kind deeds, and there are fewer opportunities to practice them here at the government residence. How long will it be before your vow can be fulfilled?" That night, after your mother spoke the words, I had a dream.
Liao-fan Yuan.
My heavenly lord,
Why are you unable to sleep?
my lord, this is because I have made a vow to complete 10,000 meritorious deeds. but to date I have not achieved good results.